All right, we'll call our meeting to order, guys, and
306.
306, okay, 306 officially. All board members present, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready and begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to public comments. We have quite a few people trying to speak.
sorry.
Sometimes I limit comments, but we don't have a whole lot of people signing to speak, so I want to make sure everybody gets enough time to speak and say what they need to say. So just try to keep it brief if you can. Again, this isn't a discussion with the boards. The public is here to watch the board conduct their business. We allow an opportunity to speak, and that's why a lot of you are here, and we want to give you an opportunity to do that. With that being said, we won't be able to have a conversation. The board may clarify and ask questions to make sure they understand your point of view, but it's not a back and forth discussion, so I just want to make sure everybody understands that. And you're welcome after this section to stick around. The board will go into closed session. We like to hear public comments before we do that to make sure we understand everybody's opinion and all of their viewpoints before we have a private discussion in closed session. But we'll come back into open session after that, and we'll kind of stick around and observe our open session. Again, when we come back into open session, it's not a back and forth discussion. The board will conduct their business based on the agenda that's set forth today, and we don't at that point have an opportunity for public comment. So we may reach out at times to teaching staff to clarify things, but again, that's really brief, and we don't have a back and forth discussion. So with that, we will call on Dorothy.
I'll wait.
Wait, okay, I'll come back to you. Ashley?
I was asked to speak for Ashley.
Great.
You want to stand in the way of the video again? Hi, my name is Lane Pink. I'm the kindergarten teacher. I was asked to speak on behalf of several of the parents who are in attendance today. Good afternoon, members of the board. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. I would like to express concern regarding Mr. Sanchez's decision to continue to assign multiple job titles to Vallecitos staff members. The combining of two very different job titles, and also the tactic of moving up the one agenda item that has parents upset to deter the attendance of those who had already made plans to have work off and childcare scheduled so that they could speak on Tuesday, May 12th. It is unclear to me what detrimental outcome we are avoiding by having this meeting 2 business days sooner, other than it being done to inconvenience the families of this school. The responsibility of the business services role requires demonstrated qualifications and relevant experience in financial management and budgeting, human resources and payroll, and compliance and reporting. Based on the information available and from the information shared at the last board meeting, I do not believe this individual currently meets the standards or qualifications necessary to effectively fulfill these duties. According to a quick online search, it is easy to learn that most business service coordinator positions in the school district typically require a bachelor's degree in finance, accounting, or business, along with 3 to 5 years of experience in fiscal operations, preferably in public education. From what has been presented, the candidate has only a certification in this area, which the school board reimbursed her for. Does the school board also pay for the teachers who are teaching, guiding, and building relationships with our children to obtain more certifications to advance their salary as well? I am also extremely concerned with Mr. Sanchez being allowed to create job positions and the salaries that come along with them. The typical full-time business service coordinator salary in California is approximately $48,122 per year, while the typical child nutrition director salary in California is approximately $54,062. These are salaries for 2 separate full-time positions. So how is it being presented that these 2 salaries can simply be combined and paid to one person as if they're capable of doing both positions simultaneously? If approved, our school will be spending $300,000 on 2 administrative people who do not have enough time to devote to doing multiple full-time jobs well. Mr. Sanchez currently holds 3 extremely important positions, and I have never seen such a high amount of student behavior problems, upset parents, and families removing their children from our school. It is clear that having one person take on multiple jobs is not working. So why are we continuing to do it? The amount of critical jobs being given to the same person is shocking, and I wish the school board would recognize things are not being done to the ability and standard they should.
Thank you, Larry. I just want to clarify, and make sure we don't spread misinformation. I've got Dorothy's resume here, if anybody wants to see it. That was incorrect about her qualifications, so anyway, if parents want to see it, I'm sure that Dorothy would be happy to provide her resume. Can you make copies of that? How many copies do we need?
I'll make with you.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
It's not.
If you want to make 10 copies, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Dorothy, is that okay with you?
Okay.
All right, next to Anna. Ana, Ordóñez.
No, por eso lo que yo no sé que pudiera decir con eso. Pues muchos papás estamos inconformes con las actitudes que se han tomado últimamente, tanto como en el bullying, como los niños. Se tienen que tomar muy en cuenta esto. Esto es un serio problema con los niños, con las actitudes que hay en la escuela, afecta a otros niños y a los papás. Ahora otra cosa, que se cambien las juntas de... No. Estamos un poco inconformes con lo que está pasando con el bullying con los niños, que no se tome en cuenta lo que les está afectando.
We are not content with the subsidy being taken off the bullying, that it's not being taken into account.
Como afecta a unos niños, afecta a otros. Se está diciendo que no hay problema, que no pasa nada. Eso afecta también en la casa, las actitudes de los niños. Cómo actúan con nosotros, cómo actúan con sus hermanos.
And it's saying that it's affecting some kids, how it's affecting others, how it's being an outcome, how it's affecting with their behaviors, with their siblings, with the family.
Ahora como que se cambien las juntas de un momento a otro, que no se nos avise, también eso nos afecta como papás por el tiempo.
And with the switching of the meetings with short notice, it affects us as parents because we think it's going to be assisting, because then we're not able to attend.
Y pues como el cambio repentino que se quiere pagar a la persona que se encarga como de la comida, también eso ya lo habíamos hablado, pero estamos inconformes con ese tema.
And also with the topic of assigning the position to who's right now in charge of nutrition, we're also not content with it. We've talked about it before, and it's coming up again. We're not content with what's going on right now.
Thank you. There might be other comments about this too. I might just take a minute here to clarify. The reason we're having this meeting today is because we were put into a tough situation with our tabling of this item last board meeting. Kind of puts us up against some tough timelines. We're going to be in a situation here pretty soon where we're not going to be able to write checks and function the way we normally do. So that's why I didn't want to leave this to Tuesday, very, very last week, to either approve this or deny this and look at different options. So I really wanted to make sure we had as many options as we could, so we could call this meeting as soon as possible. It takes a lot of board members together as well. Can you contribute that a little bit?
So, está diciendo que uno de los motivos por los que hicieron eso la junta tan rápido es porque están en una posición donde muy pronto no van a poder escribir cheques. ¿Checks for who? Cheques.
Well, just the function of the food service program.
Oh, para la programa de la comida para los niños, y por eso quisieron hacer la junta más pronto, porque es una prioridad y toma tiempo para que reúnan todos los miembros de la junta. So ese fue el propósito de tener la junta temprano y no esperar hasta martes. Es lo que está diciendo.
And I'll just add to that, so the process for having a special board meeting is we have to post the agenda well in advance. And so we want to give everybody an opportunity to be here. We're all glad you're here. We really want your input. And so that's why we're having this, not at night or early in the morning, anything like that. We want to make sure this is after school hours. Friday's gonna be anyway, I know that. But we're glad you're all here. We're glad you can make it.
Y el propósito, cuando tenemos una junta especial como necesitan que damos notificación para que los padres puedan venir y asistir, y estamos alegres que ustedes están aquí, y quisimos que lo tenemos un tiempo donde sea apropiado, donde pueden asistir, por eso nos lo pedimos en la noche. Sabemos que a veces es un poco difícil para familias, pero estamos agradecidos por estar aquí.
Yeah, again, there might be other comments related to that, so that feel free to make your point. That's fine. I just wanted to get that out. Thank you, Ana.
Solo quiso para verificar eso, pero si tienen más comentarios, adelante.
I wanna know where we got notified. As parents, we didn't get notified.
We need to talk in order, but this is posted
On what?
on the
internet.
That's,
We don't all have access to that internet feed. We all go to Custodia, and that's where the notification. How are we notified?
well, you found out about it, right? You're here.
Yeah, but you didn't go out of your way to notify us, and it was last minute. We weren't gonna be on the website.
Well, that's kind of inherent in a special board meeting. We have regularly scheduled board meetings every month. It's-
I'm gonna acknowledge that, and I will certainly try to do better. I assure you that there is nothing underhanded. This has created a big distraction for me. I've had to put many extra hours of work just into this one issue, and I'll be honest, that was an oversight of not communicating that. I assure you will not happen again. I take accountability for it.
Ya se están estableciendo.
Ok, y entonces, ¿por qué si se supone que nos tienen que notificar, por qué lo están haciendo 24 horas antes?
Es que you guys want to notify.
Por eso se necesitan más trabajadores. No solo él, porque él nomás es uno. Y si él no tiene todo el tiempo de hacerlo, ¿por qué no agarran a otras dos personas? Que se necesita de superintendente. Él es superintendente, principal, el director, y no sé qué otro negocio que tiene.
Y ahorita se acaban de contradecir.
Exactamente.
No entendemos. Factors don't understand the 24-hour notice that their understanding is that they're
That's the
supposed to be
law.
notified. But it just seems like there's a person with too many roles that he's holding the role of the superintendent, of the principal, and things aren't getting, no están haciendo las cosas.
Lo están haciendo por eso.
It's not being done right.
Yeah, well, it seems like there's a lot of questions about that. We'll do our best to put out a communication. Maybe we can put out a communication to parents. I know teachers have kind of put that out to parents too, and voice their concern with that. This isn't the place to go into rationale behind that. Our district, it's a very small district. We have a certain amount of funding and things like that. So maybe what we do is put out a communication so parents understand the way the district is organized.
Está diciendo que este no es el lugar para hablar sobre esos detalles, pero lo que pueden hacer es mandar algo a los padres para que puedan entender por qué hacen cosas en ciertos lugares, como es un distrito pequeño, los fondos son un poco diferentes.
Estuvimos mandando correos a la mesa directiva, al director.
We're gonna call order.
Podemos tener aquí, me permite un momento. Entonces, no responden.
This is what I want to avoid, guys. We need to sign in to speak. Jasmine, you didn't sign in to speak. If you'd like to say something, you can pass this back around.
I'm just gonna she said that she already set it out and then so she was sharing how she had sent out emails and how están respondiendo, that she's not getting a response to them. Y después él estaba expresando que es importante que pongamos en y que para que ella hablen.
Estoy hablando y el entonces es mi forma de expresarme si me está interrumpiendo.
And she's sharing how it's hard. She's trying to express herself, but she's getting interrupted ahorita, ¿verdad?
Please let her know. We're gonna move on, but please let her know this is the guy to speak to. If he doesn't respond, my email address is on the record as well, so I'm happy to take an email.
Y si él no te está respondiendo, está diciendo que él es una persona que tenga interés en contactarte con él, es
te mandan un correo electrónico, pues, es mi forma de expresarme. Mandamos correos para querer hablar sobre estos temas y los correos múltiples se responden.
Expressing frustration because we send out emails, things are being responded to, this is us just really expressing that things are just.
Nothing's getting done.
I'm happy to take an email.
That being said, we're on to the other point.
Okay, you're up, Chelsea. Thank you for being here.
Me mandaron a sí, ¿verdad? Sí, pero no se responde. No sé si directamente a
So my comment is gonna be based on an email that we received talking about the statement that we had made at the last board meeting. So I wanted to speak on behalf of myself, just to clarify a bit. That is the email, and then if you wanna turn the page, my highlighted and remarks are there. So first, it was said that this email was sent to recenter the conversation towards facts, which insinuates that lies have been presented by the staff who received this email, and that is not appropriate, given the only statement made was based on the information that has been presented and the personal experiences of staff. Then it was said that the position presented to the board is not at all at the level of chief business official position, which was indirectly implied, which is not true. Our remark is also in that packet where we said that we addressed it as the position of coordinator of business services, which is what it is. This email also is contradictory to the job description, as the majority of the job description, which is also in that packet, says support or assist. And what tasks are not assigned to this role to require the title to differ from the role of business manager, and who is taking those tasks on? Are we adding more to Mr. Sanchez's plate? Just some questions. Then the next paragraph, it says the district cannot leave payroll coordination uncovered. As previously mentioned, staff spoke on the information that was given. The highlighted portion indicates these tasks will be left uncovered, when in reality they should be maintained by the CBO. So will these tasks be uncovered, or will they be unsupported? Because those are two vastly different concepts. The last sentence aligns with the sentiment shared by staff, in that when the board allows the combining of two major full-time positions, the same attention and care is not present, thus adversely impacting the district's ability to effectively serve students, staff, and families. The next paragraph said that we were suggesting that this recommendation represents an expansion of administration, which never said, not in our comment at all. Then the email says that further faculty staffing remains at 15 members, and that instructional aid support has increased from 7 aides to 8, and that our adult to student ratio of 1 certificated or 1 paraprofessional supports every 7.8 students. But at the time this email was written, Mr. Sanchez had already been made aware of a faculty member submitting the resignation, and he stated that he would not be filling that position. There are already 2 combo classes, so any removal of additional staff would further burden the district, especially with the rise in behavioral incidents. And the number of aides is approved by the superintendent. Students with inter-district IEPs requiring paraprofessional support is also approved by the superintendent. Why would certificated staff be included in this ratio? Every student obviously has a teacher. When removing certificated staff from the ratio aligns with the SPED numbers and what has been approved in IEPs by Mr. Sanchez. Next paragraph, specifically the sentence that says this represents a reduction of approximately $142,269 in ongoing base salary costs in the unrestricted general fund. While there is a financial reduction on paper, it is a guise, because Mr. Sanchez took a raise for his principal duties, but now has a full-time substitute coming almost daily to complete portions of his principal duties. We used to have a principal that stayed around school, that stayed after school till around 4 to 4:30, but that after-school support has diminished. Coming in before school is not nearly as supportive for students or staff.
Chelsea, it's good to have that response. This was in response to the response to the staff's letter, which I have a copy of here. I have to tell you guys, this letter is disappointing. I'm not gonna stir things up by going into detail about this letter, but there are a lot of claims in this letter made that we have to be careful with. There's accusations of fraud in here.
Not. No fraud, it says it's a setup for fraud.
It uses the word fraud.
Yes,
I
it
shouldn't
uses
be
the word
accusing
fraud.
him of
We're
fraud.
not accusing anyone of fraud, we're saying you're setting you. Would you like me to read it?
I've read it many times.
Nobody accused them of fraud. We're accusing the board of setting up for future fraud.
Okay. Semantics.
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
You have to be careful about it.
Very
Just let
specific
you know.
who we're talking to.
I'd be very careful about making accusations like that.
I am very careful about making accusations, they're not accusations, they're opinions on the setup.
All right, thank you, Chelsea. It's great to have the response. We'll go through it in detail before our closed session. We'll discuss that. Natasha.
Okay. Dear members of the board, this is not an attack on any one person. This was written to ask you to critically think about your vote. You approved Mr. Sanchez to be CBO, superintendent, principal, and HR. It is impossible for any one person to complete these 4 jobs effectively in an 8-hour day, even with these jobs being in Mr. Sanchez's wheelhouse. And now it seems he will take on business manager duties because neither he nor Mrs. Davis were trained by Ms. Wheeler before she left. That's 5 roles. Now you're gonna let a person without the necessary experience or education complete 4 jobs. CNS, which Mrs. Davis already relies heavily on Mrs. Hernandez to complete, CYBHI, which she's new to, business manager, where she has no experience or education except CEU units, and HR, where we will still not have impartial support. Why are you creating systems that do not allow for the optimal functioning of a school, decreasing student outcomes?
Okay, thank you, Natasha. Jasmine?
Starting on page 3 of Chelsea's handout. The highlighted portion, we just address that part and say Mr. Sanchez is the only staff that serves in a cross-functional capacity and as previously stated is not excelling. Addressing the next paragraph, this is not something that was done alone. As stated in a previous board meeting, the district contracts Lynette M. Rock to help with these things, allowing for up to $10K in investments for her services. This also disrespectfully minimizes the contributions from Ms. Manuela and Ms. Maria. Students have always eaten in rooms 3 and 4 during inclement weather. It is not functional and it is currently an indoor serving line, wasting the money spent to put in the serving window that is no longer utilized. All staff continue to pursue professional growth. However, there has been clear favoritism as no staff except Dorothy have been directly reimbursed for CEUs. Continuing education units are non-academic credits used for professional development, certification maintenance, and skill updates, whereas degrees represent completed formal academic programs. CEUs do not replace an accounting or business degree. Regarding his next paragraph, this is a moot point. Teachers do not ever work 12 months, and so much of the teacher work is done on our own time and unpaid. Regarding the next paragraph, step and column is not a raise. Column movement is not guaranteed unless teachers pay for their own education, and the structure requires 2 years before being able to move in column. Regarding the next paragraph, this is why it is imperative that a position this important be carried out by someone with the appropriate credentials and experience, and why the position should not be meshed with competing tasks and a shortened time allowance. This was not a claim or accusation made, but a scenario that could occur given the lack of experience and organizational structure that allows for no checks and balances.
Thank you, Natasha.
Jasmine.
Next is Nelson.
So a question, When reviewing the salary schedule, it appears that there is less than $10,000 in savings. What rationale was presented for this job which combined with 2 full-time positions so the salary could be almost equivalent and to require less education, experience, and time to complete the job than if we were to hire a business coordinator or manager? May I also make a comment?
Oh, sure.
It does not exactly seem fair that Ms. Santos has to translate when she's part of the audience for us and yourselves.
Clarify.
She's not part of the board, but she's translating for everyone, the parents that don't speak English and then us that don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
Whereas it seems more like a board member or someone hired by the board should be a translator.
Which I do believe is an obligation from the board.
The parents have to translate.
Thank you. We'll look into that. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. That's all we have signed in to speak.
You still speaking?
Oh, yeah, we skipped you. All right, that's all of our speakers. That closes out our public comment section. With that, we're going to make your presentation.
So I will go to closed session and come back.
Okay. So just to let everybody know, we're going to go into closed session. We'll discuss these items that have been presented to us. We'll get a chance to discuss as a board the intricacies of this decision tonight, and we'll come back. There's going to be some presentations. Dorothy will make a presentation. Melton's going to make a presentation.
I'm just doing it.
Okay. So Melton will make a presentation laying out some facts. I would really encourage you guys to come back for that. Closed session won't be long. So I really want you guys to see that. He's going to present some information. We don't have that information right now. I think it'll change. If you had that information, I think it's a little bit different. So please come back and hear Melton present. He's going to present some facts, some data, some financial stuff. It'll be good. It'll be well worth your time.
Please feel free to take your time and really discuss the things that have been brought up. Don't feel like you have to rush on it.
Definitely will do. All right, with that, we'll adjourn to closed session. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
All right, the agenda, they said that they're going to come back and present, but the agenda does not say anything about presentations. So there's only approval. There's no discussion. Maybe that's good, but there's not presentation.
Can I swap you spots?
We can't just add to the agenda. We need 24 hours notice. It's not on the agenda.
Well, if there's a specific item,
And that's why, again, I'm putting it in your head right now.
if you brought up that, just wondering where the presentation is.
It's right here when we discuss it. It's part of the business, so that's what.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's part of this item.
We can, while we're discussing this item, I will just. No, that's more. Those are, the recognition, that's recognition. So like, yeah, like student of the month. Hey, I'm down, that's why I'm saying it quietly here. Yeah, I should have paid. So.
Well, that includes discussion.
I'm doing I'm doing the presentation for the benefit of the community. The board already has the presentation.
You want the information?
The board has the information. This is for the board.
Just like this meeting is open, right? We had this meeting, we'll have another one next week, so it's like, more information, right? More information is good. More information is great. More easy to have, the better, right? Okay, well, there's more we can come together and discuss it. I think that's
Part of the approval.
Yeah, I'm always open to talk to you.
I will get
There is no presentation on the agenda. They said more information is good.
Under discussion action items, business, so it's under that.
Is it linked?
Just email me. I know.
Does it have to be LinkedIn then?
I can't say that. Are we gonna try to find it?
No, it's not linked in the note.
Are we gonna try to find it? We can't do this.
Ask the public if they want to ask, because it's not going to be in Spanish, so how many of them are going to be able to understand it? I would ask them where is this going?
But again, it's also.
Okay, we're gonna reconvene to open session.
Is this the speech would be why we're everything? No, this is why Dorothy should be where she's at.
Oh, great.
All in favor? I need a second. Second, Heather, all in favor? Okay, public hearing items, there were none. Consolidated motion, commission on tonight, we'll do a presentation, bring section 11.1, your staff report, information items, move on to discussion items, business, financial, facilities, 11.1. Elton's gonna give a presentation.
Okay, so I want to start off by saying, since I've been here, I have not made any cuts to students. No cuts to the classrooms. I get the combo classes, but we do still have 15 teachers. When I started, we had 15 teachers. I did have 7 aides. We now have 8 aides. That is the truth. I have re-roofed our buildings. I've added a classroom in the back. I've done nothing but bring resources to the students. When I came in December 2022, we were coming out of COVID. During COVID, there was a lot of money thrown at the districts, and a lot of federal funds and things like that. It allowed districts to do extra hiring. We had also had a community schools grant, so when I came in, the staff was much bigger. In this environment, that money is gone. There is no more COVID money. You guys are seeing, if you pay any sort of attention to the news, you guys are seeing layoffs all across San Diego County. I'm not laying off any teachers. I have maintained the financial system the best that I can, the best that I have been since I've been here. We have positive financial certifications, meaning we are meeting our obligations for the current year and the next 2 years. And I'm going to illustrate some of the things that I've done to do that, and I'm going to show you how I kept all that away from your kids, and those hits were taken by us. So, but before I do that, there's been, and I hate to even have to acknowledge this or even do this, but we've gotten ourselves into a situation where the person that I'm recommending has been maybe attempted to have them undermined or something like that. So I'm going to start my presentation with some support for Dorothy. So if I look at revenues in the cafeteria department since my arrival in 21-22, we were doing $143,000 that year. We are now, the last year we did 262. I expect that this is going to be where we live. Since she's come in, when I came here, we were feeding only breakfast and lunch. We now feed breakfast, lunch, snack, and supper. Thank you, Dorothy. When I came here, we were not doing summer feeding. Now we do summer feeding and families can come in and grab food all summer long. Thank you, Dorothy.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. Program impact.
Be respectful, guys.
We are serving 7,000 meals during the summer. We've expanded access to our surrounding communities. Dorothy, I don't even know how many little grants we've gotten, but we've gotten a number of grants. Farm to School, No Kid Hungry. And that's when you see some of the extra support in the kitchen, it's because of the results of the efforts to secure grants. We are finding ourselves in a position, I'm gonna go back to this slide. We're finding ourselves in a position where, much like all of my other funding, this funding is plateauing as well. You're not gonna see these gains. Think about it like working out. You hit a spot where like that's kind of it. You're gonna plateau. This is kind of the same thing for us. We can't get much bigger than this. We're limited by the amount of students we have, and what the program can serve. So my point though is that now that this is where we live, we have to find the right way and the right size for the program.
Can I ask a question? Just because I'm ignorant and I don't know. How is the revenue? I'm confused.
The revenue is dependent upon participation.
So by the number of kids that take a meal.
And number of kids times meals, some meals pay more, some meals pay less.
Thank
But again, the bulk of it was because we've expanded access. We are serving 100% more meals per day than we were when we first got here. And then as far as the qualifications go, guys, as superintendent, one of my most important jobs is to play chess, is to think as far ahead as I can about what's coming, what storms are coming, what am I gonna face so that I can help the district avoid these kinds of pitfalls. In other districts across the county, they were not as effective, which is why you're seeing the layoffs. At Vallecitos, we were effective, which is why you're not seeing the reductions. The reason I'm saying that is because Sherry, the business manager, first announced her retirement. We thought she was gonna go out in October. And at that time, I had done a lot of, I do consolidate. When I came in, we had 4 people in the office. And I'm not knocking, I don't want to even, I have to be careful what I say, I don't want to say too much. But you guys bring up the how can people do this job and that job. I'm gonna say that when I first arrived, and to some extent this is still true, there were people here that simply didn't have enough to do. They just didn't in the office. They were being paid for an 8-hour position, but there quite frankly wasn't 8 hours worth of work. So when those people, I didn't lay anyone off, but when people resigned, I didn't rehire them because then that allowed us to save money and save budget and keep the cuts away from the classroom. And so when I see an opportunity to take advantage of savings through personnel attrition, I do that. And before I go there, I'm gonna just go quickly through the qualifications. So I knew when I found out first Sherry was gonna retire, I had to start to think about how are we gonna pivot and keep ourselves mean and lean and still be able to get the work done and make sure that nothing hits the classrooms. So I had the idea. I'd been working with Dorothy at that period of time for close to 3 years. In the 3 years, I had seen a tremendous amount of growth. I had developed a great amount of confidence in her. And at the level that I have written this position, I have full faith that she can do this work. I'm gonna get to that rest of that justification in just a minute. Yes, Dorothy has participated in a CASBO program and gained these competencies. It was mentioned that she was not trained internally, and that is not true. For the past several months, we have been training Dorothy in PeopleSoft accounting, procurement, inventory, and bill paying, and how to do the bank deposits, which she can now do. I'm not gonna go over the impact, I already kind of went over that, but she has made a tremendous impact. As soon as that building is open, which we are in the DSA closeout process, the construction is done, the work is done, the final inspections have happened, we're just going through the paperwork with the Department of State Architects. When that happens, Vallecitos, for the first time in their history, is gonna have an indoor cafeteria with real cafeteria benches, real heated serving lines, all of, everything that a student is entitled to. Now, they're entitled to an indoor cafeteria whether it's raining or not. Every kid, every day should be able to choose where they want to eat. Maybe they're too hot, maybe they're too cold, so I grew up with an option to have an indoor cafeteria. Why don't these kids deserve it? Our kids do deserve it. And that is possible because of her great work. She is student-centered. Just some recognitions. We were featured last year in the No Kid Hungry Spotlight Summer Series. Think about that. No Kid Hungry. That's just impactful. And we were spotlighted for that, for making sure that no kid was hungry. Thank you. We've gotten grants from the Department of Ed. We have modernized the cafeteria. When I came, all we had was a warming oven, plastic things thrown in there every day. We have a combi oven now. We do speed scratch cooking. We have the warm serving lines. Come take a look at the lunches. I'm not saying every day is great school lunches, but yesterday we had, or day before, I don't know what day it was, I saw tacos with beans and meat and avocado, like guacamole on the side, and strawberries. Nope. And
I had to pack my daughter lunch because she didn't like this lunch anymore. Yep, me too.
Yeah, people have.
I don't know why this is being said. This is
Now,
why. And it's all dirty.
Guys, it's my turn. It's my turn. There is order at this meeting, and you will maintain it.
I'll have to ask you to leave if you keep speaking.
Yes.
Okay?
Now, when I came in 2021, 2022, we were paying $582,000 a year in admin costs for these positions. I told you at the beginning of this conversation, I took advantage of attrition. When I had an opportunity to do that, we went from 582 to 516. This year, we're at 511. When this passes, if it passes tonight, we are now down to 440. From 582 to 440, no cuts to kids. We cannot stay here, guys. If I stay here, we are going to fall off a fiscal cliff and I will be cutting jobs left and right. And you may have the community's school district even go insolvent. You do not understand the gravity of my work. You do not understand how many mechanisms and things need to be looked after and watched out for to make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to be.
I got a question. Where it says superintendent, 192,000, where's the budget for the principal at?
That's me.
So are you getting paid twice for that, or is that what's going on?
So what happened, let me explain what happened. So what happened was,
I'm just curious why
I'll show you.
my kids have a principal here at the school.
I'm right here.
Okay, I'm just kind of
We'll
curious.
show you. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you what happened. So when Ms. Peace was here, I was making 172,550. Ms. Peace was making 117,457. When Ms. Peace resigned, I took $20,000 more and became the principal. Okay? And I gave the position to the teachers. So took away an admin position and gave it to the teachers. I cannot emphasize for you enough how student-centered and classroom-centered I am. I could have kept that position for myself, I did not. I gave it back to the teachers. Now, what's happening this year is my business manager was making $108,000. The business manager is now down to zero. And what this is about now, Dorothy's starting salary is going to be somewhere in the $96,000 range. Her current salary right now, Apple to Apple 1.0 FTE is like, I think 80 something thousand. So really we're adding about $16,000 to her salary to take on probably about $60,000 worth of work. So you cannot deny these numbers. We are saving money and we are not cutting classrooms. Every single cut that I have made has been away from the classrooms, including tonight's proposal. To eliminate the business manager, give her some of those duties, and protect our valuable resources.
Is there a principal coming in the near future? Is there?
I am the principal.
I understand that.
But you're not even completing
I
on your
don't-
job.
If I have an
Exactly.
issue with you and I need to talk to a principal or vice versa,
Exactly.
You go to the board president.
I've never even met this gentleman.
But you would have never met my principal either.
I know Miss Peace, I remember.
But what I'm saying is, I am at the top of the management hierarchy in the district.
Okay.
If you have an issue with my work, you go to the board. That's how you would show
So if I don't feel comfortable talking to you,
that is correct.
We
I go
came
the
to
board.
your boss though, and there's nothing being done ever. Like I'm telling you from experience, I came to him too.
Look, guys, I do my best to be
And
responsible.
there's nothing changes
Nothing changes.
at all. And we're not here to be drama.
Just curiosity.
We haven't always had a principal at the school. I've been on the board for 12 years, and there's been times we don't have a principal that functions at the school.
okay.
It's not always.
No, I was in the school from 1998 to 2005 or 6. The whole time I was here as a student, we've always had a principal.
Yeah, me too. I came here from preschool
But
to
also,
grade.
get all these Hernandez.
Funding changes, things go back and forth.
I understand that.
What happened? So let me give you some history. When I prior to me coming, the title was the superintendent principal. That was the title. If you remember, your kids may not have been here when Maritza was here. Maybe Maya might have been here when Maritza was here. Maritza's title was superintendent principal. For again, similar reasons to this, operational budget constraints. When the board sought guidance from San Diego County Office of Ed about how to structure and replace Maritza's position, they were given the guidance to go to the superintendent CBO model. Because in a small district, someone with my skill set and qualifications can serve a community like this well. Because I have the ability to do multiple functions. Not everybody is like this. You might have somebody that knows principal very well, or business very well, and that's where they've spent the majority of their career. I have if you look at my resume goes through the gamut. So I'm uniquely qualified to be your child's principal. I am uniquely qualified to be a superintendent. I am uniquely qualified to be a CBO. I have all of those qualifications. Yes, sir.
I had a question to Mr. Darling and Mr. Kirkman, you or the two that were here. When that recommendation to go to CBO superintendent model, what was the recommendation to do with principal? Was it to eliminate the principal position? If so,
We had a principal at what it said, recently hired,
that was
this piece.
vice principal.
So actually, I was the principal the first year. So actually, that's not true. I got hired as the superintendent CBO principal my first year. I was the
Why
principal.
do you have two jobs?
We are in a small school district. We have 100.
I know, but we need help. You need help.
I
You
don't-
know that.
okay.
You don't even, we just talked about this earlier. You don't even complete your job.
Let me say it this way. It may happen now. The board has not, to my knowledge, received one single complaint about me. There was one issue.
Dude, I always complain about you. All the time.
Well, yeah, I forgot about you. I'm sorry.
But
I don't know.
Why would you forget if I'm here all the time? Because I have issues all the time that are unresolved.
I did. In honesty, I did forget about your complaint. Yeah.
No, millions.
But
of
aside from
complaints.
that,
Millions. Not from just me, for Marisol also.
anyway.
Let's be respectful.
Yeah, let's just.
This
The
isn't a
dialogue's
Well,
not
you
gonna be
literally blew up what I just said.
This isn't the forum.
I didn't.
Okay.
I just acknowledged that.
But
I
there's
was-
ways to talk, like, you're, like, let's be nice, like, you're not professional.
Exactly.
Like, she's,
Not
at the end of the day,
professional.
she's a parent, let's all be.
And I just acknowledged that I was wrong. Yeah, I'm not.
You have been yelling this whole time.
No, I'm not yelling. But I might be passionate about what
Yeah,
I do.
like-
It hasn't been so.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like it.
Protect it. Moving forward, this is me. I am doing my best to protect student programs
You
and
can do
services. I am doing my best to maintain strong classroom staffing and support staffing. I am doing my best to maintain long-term fiscal stability. This is your community. This is probably the largest employer, one of the larger employers in your community, one of the larger budgets in your community. I am doing my best to build long-term sustainability for your community, while still enhancing the campus and enhancing the classrooms. I am doing my best to develop internal leadership capacity, which is required of a small school district. It's imperative that the internal personnel team has high levels of capacity to support multiple functions in the district. We cannot have an assistant soup of HR, an assistant soup of SPED, an assistant soup of business, an assistant soup of curriculum instruction. We can't do that. It would break it. It would break us. We cannot afford that. It really, I invite you wholeheartedly, I mean this with all sincerity, meet with me. Come to my office and let's talk and ask questions. I can't help you then. I'm honestly offering
I've
anyone.
done that so many times.
Not one person has ever come and sat with me, not one, to have these kind of conversations and understand, not one. And I'm inviting every single one of you. I am as transparent as I could be. I maintain an open door policy in my office. I am always there. And I am willing to have respectful dialogue with any single person that is questioning any aspect of our work. Now, I am also doing my best to support employees while reasonably managing resources. Since my arrival in December 2022, the teachers have seen, most teachers, 23% pay increase since December 2022. I honor my teachers. I
Step and column
appreciate
doesn't
my
count.
teachers. Step and column counts.
No. Nope. It's not right.
It's the public's money being given to you. It counts.
It's not right.
Your pay goes up each year.
If your pay
That
goes up
doesn't
from
count.
one, if your pay goes up from
What
one
about
amount to another
COLA?
amount, that's a raise.
It's not.
It's a raise. When your pay goes from 10,000 to 12,000, that is a raise, whether it's
Public
one
would see
step
it
in
as a
column or
raise,
not.
guys.
It's the public's money. The public money is being
That tax
given
dollars
to you.
going into your bank account.
It is a raise. You are costing the public more every single year.
And column is my money. I spent that money to get that degree.
Now,
We're aware of that.
That's not
and
a
lastly,
raise.
I am focused on keeping decisions centered on students. I don't know what more to say to you guys. Like I said, I come here every single day. I am dedicated to this work. I am dedicated to our people, staff and faculty, dedicated to our families and our students. My job is very complex. You know, it has this political element. Sometimes the political element gets tough for me. It is my job, whether the political winds are in my favor or not, to do what I think is best for the district. And what I think is best for this district and this community is to make this move. This keeps cuts away from your kids. I have not cut your kids.
My kid's not even safe at this school. It's never been because of you.
I'm done. As far as this goes, I'm completed with my presentation.
Thank you. Ian, you want to make a quick statement?
No, I didn't wanna, I respect the parents had something to say when I asked my question. I was just trying to find out, since you were the two that I believe were here during that portion of the San Diego making that recommendation.
Yeah.
What was their recommendation? Did they recommend to fold the principal position into the CBO superintendent to make one position, or was
I don't remember the intricacies of the principal, vice principal position. It was really around whether to bring in a professional that would basically take the roles of CBO superintendent. There was one, I think it was one other district, or two other districts that at the time, I think Mountain
View?
Well, a small district had that.
Dehesa.
Dehesa. Yeah, it was another small
And
district
now,
that had that.
Warner has it. It's expanded out now. Warner has adopted the superintendent CBO model. And they might, but now here's the thing. You might run into districts where this is similar, but they might have 500 students, so they can do a principal. We have 180 students, guys, 180.
We're the smallest district.
We are one of the smallest in
I'm
the
not trying
county.
to attack your position, I really want to know what was actually recommended.
And I'm just back to the position I was,
Regarding the principal.
I'm just back
I've always
to,
been curious since I got here.
Yeah, I mean, the focus was CBO superintendent, because we wanted to evaluate whether we wanted to hire, you know, a replacement for Linda and Marissa, or bring in a professional that would take both those roles. And it would, the reservation was that it would take a very unique individual with unique experience and training and education to fill both those roles. And we found them. There are people out there.
Absolutely, the CBO superintendent position, I understand you found, I just have always been curious about why was principal or not, sorry.
We found two people that actually were qualified. All the people that we talked to. And if a guy was like a super academic, remember that guy?
Yeah.
Who took the interview from Chicago? So there aren't that many people who do it.
I guess.
as I'm here,
Try
I
to
work my
refocus it
sleeves
up.
every day for
I
the kids,
get
guys.
superintendent, CBO,
Your
absolutely.
question around principal, vice principal.
My question was more on the side of, what was the recommendation for the admin team being superintendent, CBO, principal, business manager, 4 core positions?
Yeah.
Did they speak to it, or was it only regarding that? Because it's been up in the air since I got here, nobody's been able to tell me one way or the other why.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically. I can't answer that at the time, and it's been quite a few years, but I don't remember what the recommendation was around principal, vice principal.
I appreciate it, I just wanted to ask it on record. Try to find an answer.
All right, thank you, Mel, for that presentation. I hope this was helpful, guys. Information is power. Putting the information out here. I know you can roll your eyes, Jasmine, but the information.
Why are you calling me out? We're talking to prevent you.
This is
You're the one
disrespectful,
starting
guys.
this. We prevent you.
Talking during the
looking at the
meeting and
screen.
talking during presentations is not
You don't need to
acceptable.
call me out by name. That's disrespectful. Especially in public.
The thing is, I didn't see that, and then you made it a point.
Okay, well, this is a presentation that our superintendent is given to provide information, and the information is valuable for you. I mean, it's basically, he's laying out our financial.
I really do, I encourage any of you, my door is open, come talk to me.
When I'm trying to find you after school, sometimes you're not even here anymore.
But can I just say one thing? This whole presentation though was about CNS. No one's questioning Dorothy's great job working as CNS. And I also don't think that it's very professional to then be like, thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. Like, we've never had a presentation.
Chelsea, I think the letter contradicts what you just said. This letter is terrible. It attacks her personally.
Not her CNS position. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Dorothy has been attacked, it is my job. I'm not debating you guys like that. It is my job to reinforce my confidence in her, which I have full confidence in Dorothy. Like I said, we worked together for 3 years, I've seen tremendous growth. The results of the department speak for itself. You can see it. You walk onto the campus and into the rooms, you see it. It's right there.
Yeah.
with that, guys, we can open this up for discussion. We talked about this a lot during closed session. You can open it up for vote if there's a motion to vote, a second, and we can vote. Is there a second? Who was it? Who was it?
I think.
Either a second. It's unanimous. Thank you guys.
That's it.
Thank you.
So as a parent, what happened, because this is my first time ever here,
Say that again, you said it?
so, do you guys vote yes, or, sorry, it's my first time ever here, I'm a parent.
Yeah, we voted
Yes.
4-0 yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Position.
We drew it.
Sorry.
Okay, finish, sorry, yeah, we're trying to finish.
Yeah, you could just.
Nada, todo lo que dije me mandaron una
With that, we'll
chingada.
adjourn our meeting at 5:05.
I'm waiting for this.
Open door, guys, come talk to him.
I came here,
Don't
Darby.
hurl things at a board
If
meeting.
you're on top of him or you're his boss, why don't you listen? I came to talk